looking to fire. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. With that, they grab the lead here in the second half.
College Football 27 is here, and this year's return to higher education's gridiron brings a lot of new updates, both big and small. Some of these are on-the-field editions, whereas others can be found exclusively in menus, but all of them change how college football plays. Whether you're looking to hit the practice field like a backup trying to earn the starting job, or looking to build a legacy in Dynasty, here's a quick primer on the changes that make a difference in College Football 27, and what you'll need to know to make the most of them. When College Football 25 was released, a friend of mine who hadn't played since NCAA 14 and was overwhelmed by everything going on asked me what he should do to learn. I told him that short of spending some time on YouTube, his best bet was to buy Madden 25 so he could access the skills trainer because College Football 25 really didn't have one. This year, that's changed. College Football 27's skill trainer will walk you through almost every aspect of how to play, from basic things like juke and spin moves to more advanced stuff like pump fakes, stunts, and twists. The skills trainer also highlights tutorials for beginners and new additions to College Football 27, so you can practice things like the revamped defensive adjustments and timing-based catching before you set foot on the field. Probably this year's biggest on-field offensive change is timing-based catching. As before, you can still choose from possession, rack, and aggressive catches when you're trying to get your hands on the football. But now, holding the button for the type of catch you want also brings up a meter with red, yellow, and green sections. Your job is to release the button when you've got the meter in the right spot. Red means you're probably not catching that ball short of a miracle. Your guy might stumble, have the ball knocked out of his hands, or just plain drop it. Yellow results in the standard dice roll based on your player's stats, and green means you're basically guaranteed a catch, though it can still be knocked away if you're unlucky. Mastering timing-based catching can be tricky, but the way to nail it isn't to focus on the meter. Instead, focus on the ball and release the button as it hits your player's hands. That might seem counterintuitive, but we promise that it works, though the meter can be helpful too. Learning timing-based catching will also help you nab more interceptions, so it's a good skill to have. That said, if you just want to leave a catch up to the dice roll, you do nothing, and let college football roll some dice and do math behind the scenes. One last thing. With timing-based catching, it's almost always better to be early than late. That way, you still have a chance. The QB sneak is a classic, but previously it was a toss-up for whether it'd be effective, and defenses often had more options for stopping it than offenses did for pulling it off. That's changing a little this year, with another meter-based system. This time, you've got to land the meter in the center to up your chances, but the defense still gets a say. A pinched D-line will make things harder for you than one that's not, so picking your spots and being ready to audible to something else if you don't like the look is essential. And you'll have to account for things like how strong your QB is, yardage, late-game situations, and the pressure of the moment. Even a perfect snap doesn't guarantee success, but hey, you can always get a feel for it in the skills trainer. If you're an old head, you probably know exactly what to do to get your defense lined up exactly the way you want it, and playing how you like. The folks in my Madden League jokingly refer to it as the Konami code because of how many inputs you'll often have to do to get things just so. Well, this year things have been substantially reworked, with an emphasis on getting where you need to go faster and more efficiently. That's going to mean relearning how stuff works. Substitutions used to be up on the D-pad, now they're right. Global coverage adjustments are on the left trigger. Defensive line and linebacker adjustments have been moved to the right stick. It's very, very different. The upside is making changes is faster than before, and it's very easy to do something like quickly double team a receiver that's been torching you. It's just probably going to take some time to learn, especially if you're used to the old system, and you should probably put in some time getting comfortable before you try it out on the field. Again, the skills trainer is always there if you need it. If you don't feel like Konami coding your way to victory on the fly, College Football 27 allows you to make custom adjustments. You can tweak damn near everything here, including how your linebackers line up, the slant of your defensive line, and how your DBs play in coverage. You can even choose how they play certain formations like bunch and trips. You can save up to 20 of these bad boys a piece for offense and defense, but you can only bring 5 on each side of the ball into the game, so choose wisely. If you don't want to mess with that, or aren't sure what to do yet, and just want to play while you figure it out, you can bring up pre-built custom adjustments by pressing L1 and going from there. Simple. What's not simple is dynamic weather. Last year's game introduced heavy rain and snow, but this year's weather is a different beast and can completely change as time goes on. You can start in the pouring rain and end up playing under clear skies, which means you'll not only have to plan for the weather you're facing now, but how it might change later on and what effect that will have on the game. Thankfully, college football is kind enough to give you a heads up pre-game on the forecast, so be sure to pay attention and alter your game plan accordingly.
Well guys, I wanted to get into the extended forecast because as you can see, heavy rain right now. I have seen a few players in the pregame warm-ups having some issues trying to work on their ball security with the rain coming down so hard.
Let's move to Dynasty. One of the big additions this year is AD expectations. Basically, it's what your school's athletic director expects you to accomplish, how quickly they expect you to do it, and how patient they'll be with you. Each school has its own expectations. Some just want to win a national championship, others will be happy to make a bowl game, and the pettiest will just want to beat their rivals. When you pick your school, you've got to fulfill these expectations, otherwise you're going to be out of a job. Make sure you build your program around it. Another new addition is Dynasty Points. You get Dynasty Points based off things like your conference prestige, stadium atmosphere, and so on. You'll need them to hire staff, upgrade your facilities, offer the players you're trying to recruit NIL deals, keep the ones on your team happy, and the like. You won't get more points until the end of the season, though you'll also get bonuses at the end of your current season for performing well, so spending them the right way is crucial. That said, you don't have to manage all of this if you don't want to. You can let the CPU manage things and it will do so based on your Dynasty blueprint, which determines where your points are allocated. But it's a good idea to come to grips with these systems regardless because they'll define a lot of your time with Dynasty. So be sure to play around and see what works for your school. Recruiting is a core part of Dynasty, but you won't just be handing out a limited number of scholarships. College Football 27 introduces NIL deals, and making a scholarship offer requires ponying up some of your Dynasty points. Players have an expected amount, but offering more will raise their interest level, and offering less will have the opposite effect. Be careful what you promise though, because if you renege on it later, they won't be happy. Save enough Dynasty points to recruit the players you want, but don't be cheap either. You can't take it with you. And those are the 9 biggest things in College Football 27 that make a difference. Whether throwing a pass or running a Dynasty, this isn't the same game as last year. Keep that in mind as you play, and you'll have a much better time on the gridiron. See you next season. For more on College Football 27, why not check out our review? And for everything else, stick with IGN.
This game is so close to being salted away if the offense can just run out the clock. To the air, it's Levin. Time to take a shot. It's caught.